Hey, good morning and happy Monday. Happy Holy Week. And here we are. We're at the beginning of Holy Week and the week of Easter. And for so many, you're going to be having family, maybe your grandkids around, and maybe some sugar. And I want to talk about that today because this last weekend I was hanging out with Bianca and I was having a lot of sugar cravings. I was having a lot of I think I want, and yeah, I'm just gonna say maybe I went there. But what I want to talk about is the honest truth about sugar addiction and how some of us are honestly fighting a battle. And this morning I read a post in our client support page that just really hit me in a vulnerable spot myself, because that's been my journey for the last 5 years. You know, losing the weight was one piece of this for me, but the other part was overcoming addictive foods, overcoming my sugar addiction, or at least working on it. A work in process. I have not mastered this, but I am contending and I'm refusing to give up on myself, because I know that my health is worth it in the short term, and in the long game. I know me winning this battle matters on every level, but it doesn't just matter for me, it matters for so many. So I want to just talk about Easter's coming and some choices that I was making yesterday. Neil and I went and we did our hike, and then we stopped at Sam's to do some shopping and looking for some Easter basket gifts for our grandkids. And I'm just looking at all the sugar and I'm going, I can't even bring that home. Because I know where it will lead. There might not be any in the basket. And so Neil's like, we'll just pick some up on Saturday. It's crazy. But so I got them non-food gifts that I can have in my house, and they're safe. But if any of you know what I'm talking about, like, one, for me, so many times doesn't always just stop at one. No matter how hard I want, the sugar addiction is so powerful, and it's a continual battle. But it was a couple weeks ago that I was working with one of my fellow coaches, and she said, you know, there's that belief in your head too that I always give in. And then it made me think about times when I don't give in, because you know what I'm finding? I don't give in to my addictions all the time anymore. I can stop at one once in a while. I have stopped at one. So I'm creating evidence in the opposite of what I tell myself. But I want to tell you about sugar, because maybe you know someone or love someone who, like me and so many, is contending sugar, refined sugar in our food. It shuts off the leptin in our brain, and we don't recognize the feeling of satiation or full, which is why when we can eat pizza, we can eat an entire pizza and not feel full, or why I can eat an entire package of Oreos and seriously. And it's something in our brain that actually shuts off our ability to recognize that we aren't hungry. But I found something. For me, if I'm in an emotional state when I'm choosing, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm tired. If I'm in an emotional state, depressed, grieving, and I am not mindful of my choice to put that in my mouth, like if it just pops in, it will be an unconscious thing that all of a sudden, like, oh my God, what just happened? And sometimes I don't even catch myself till after the fact. And I'm learning I don't beat myself up, but I'm recognizing that my emotional mismanagement is a trigger. So when I'm dealing with that, it's a very intentionality. And holidays are emotional for me. They're just an emotional season. Don't always get to see all my family, missing a lot of people. A lot of people aren't here in my life. And I think about those people. And so emotionally, it's a charged time for me. It's a trigger for me. So I have to be very intentional about what I'm putting in. So you know what I won? And I'm going to tell you my win. This weekend, I decided I wanted to bake cookies with Bianca. Because that's what grandmas do, right? And here's the win. I made one pan. And grandma, you know how you get with sugar. Bianca is my support. She's my cheerleader. She knows that I contend. And I said, yeah, that's why we're only going to make one pan. Because I can't overeat it if I only have that. And so she recognizes, I have enlisted the people. And that's the tips I want to tell you. If you are contending, if you are a person who contends for your health and you're having addictive tendencies with food, one of the things that has helped me is our community of support, because we have a lot of people who understand what we're going through. Because you know what I've found? In the past, if I did show up with families, they would say, but you can have that, you're skinny. And they associate the fact that I'm at a healthy weight, that candy or cookie or treat isn't gonna affect my weight. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. You're right. But if you knew what it did to my mind and the pattern that I have, you wouldn't be offering me this. And so I have to tell people, I have to explain it to people that I have a really hard time with the off button. I'm better off to not even go down that rabbit hole if I want to win. And that, I just enlist people to support me. I invite people to encourage me, ask me how I'm doing. If they recognize me going off the deep end, and I had my dear sister Camille, so often she would be the one that would grab the package out of my hand. You don't want to do that to yourself. Lovingly. Today, Bianca's that person. Grandma, you don't want to do that. Who's in your life that's got your back, that's going to say, hey, it ain't worth it. You don't want to do that to yourself. Find your community. Ask for people to check in on you. How you doing? It matters if you really want to win. Have that accountability. For me, this coaching piece has been the other part, because I'm not just walking it for myself, but I'm walking along others, and I understand what they're going through, and I can say, yeah, you want to break that chain, not just for this generation, but for future. That's one of the reasons why I coach, is it's helped me not only help myself, but help others. And when you're helping others, the focus comes off of yourself, and you get stronger in the process. If you're dealing with addictive foods, sugar addictions, other food addictions, if you want to learn more about fighting and contending for your health in this season, reach out. I am assisting a lot of people through this journey. I understand it. And I am contending. I am looking for people who want to contend with me, because we are better knowing we're not alone on this journey. It is a battle worth winning. Want to win? Come and find me.